All right, welcome back to episode 2 of Beyond the Arc. I'm Talia Goodman here with Genesis Bryan, and we are going to go through what happened over the first few days of women's college basketball, right? I'm pumped. I think I said this to you, probably more than 24 hours of college basketball in the last 48 hours. So, not a lot of sleep, a lot of basketball.
Man, we were going back and forth. Say, you see this? You see this? I mean, just the games that happen. I mean, we're going to get into all that, but this is just the beginning of what this season looks like. I am so excited.
I feel like, and maybe this is just me, it feels like there's more parity. Like I feel like there have been more upsets, and it might be, towards the bottom of those Power Five leagues, but still, like you're seeing some good mid-majors get some big wins early on, which has been really fun for me. I've been tracking all of them and really enjoying seeing them shine early.
And that's what you love to see as a fan, as a spectator. You don't want to see the same blowouts. You want to see those hard, close games, so that makes it more fun.
And there's one blowout we'll probably be talking about later on, but the rest of these games we're gonna go through, they were all close, they were all competitive, and they were all a lot of fun. But I want to start off. We introduced this in our first episode, the mid-major spotlight. We're gonna go through some of those teams. These are all teams actually that were able to upset either Power Five teams or really solid teams, and were not expected to win these games and came through with the win. And I think the biggest one that the most people probably saw because of the way that it happened and the way that it ended, right, was Holy Cross's buzzer beater over Boston College. I know you saw that. I know you watched it. What'd you think?
Oh man, that last shot. I mean, it was a beautiful play. He had the lob over top with 2 seconds left. I mean, Simone making that game-winning bucket. I know that had to feel great. Whenever a mid-major beats a power four team, power four, power five, it's gonna always feel like a celebration, and you could feel it through the screen.
Yeah, you should have seen me. I had it on my computer because I was watching some other games. I had it on my computer. I was like slumped up over my computer, like, oh my God, what's going to happen in these final seconds? And I think this is impressive because, yes, Holy Cross has a recent history of being good, right? They made the tournament, but there's a new head coach. Didn't have like the strongest year last year, maybe in comparison to when they made that NCAA tournament. But this game
Hmm.
was fun. Boston College, this is a game they probably should have won. Uh,
Yeah.
and so we'll look to see if they improve later in the year.
Hmm.
I think their freshmen will get better. Freshmen are freshmen, they'll improve. But I'm not sure about the roster they have this year. And this is a big pivotal year for them.
For sure. I mean, Boston College has kind of struggled the past couple of years, especially in the ACC. So maybe this is a wake-up call for them, and maybe this is what they need to kind of turn that program around. But yeah, we'll be looking to see how this impacts them throughout the year.
Yeah, now I'm keeping an eye on Holy Cross, which actually the first game I ever covered as a media member was at Holy Cross. So keeping an eye on Holy Cross. Excited to see what they're able to do this year. I want to go through a couple others that stood out to me, and I think these were all for the most part yesterday. There's one more from day one, and that's Arkansas Pine Bluff beat Memphis, which was a big win for them. I think, Memphis had some higher expectations this year, and this is a game you're certainly expected to win early on.
Mhm.
And they were not able to pull it out. Arkansas Pine Bluff with a big one over them, so just wanted to shout them out real quick. But the rest of these happened yesterday, and oh my gosh, was I glued to my TV watching these. Like I was kind of checking scores, going through, seeing what I should watch. There were a lot of good games on. But as
Mhm.
I saw that these were close, I was not baffled necessarily, but curious and
Yeah.
interested, and so I turned them on. And big one for me, and this is the one that's really impressive because this is a very impressive mid-major team. This is not a bad loss for
Right.
Cincinnati because
Hmm.
Lehigh is very, very talented, very well coached, but they were able to pull out the win at the end there against Cincinnati, who I think needs to get D. Alexander back very, very soon.
For sure. I mean, like you said, two great ball clubs coached by two great head coaches. I mean, this is a battle, and this is what we expected to see. And
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, Lehigh had the advantage, but it could have gone either way.
Yeah, I do want to shout out Maya Perry on Cincinnati. She had like a 30 piece, I think. So that was a crazy game. Good game for her. Transfer from FAU. Impressive performance, but they could not get it done this time. I think their freshman class is the key for Cincinnati. So as they improve and as D. Alexander, returns from injury, which I don't know when, but hopefully fingers crossed soon because she's going to be a big part of what they do over there. Last two I want to go over real quick. Drexel over Pitt. That was an interesting and a fun one for me. Drexel looked good. They had that game in their hands pretty much the whole time.
Mhm.
Pitt couldn't stop them. They're without one of their key players, Amia Jenkins. Don't know what's going on with her, but
No,
injuries aside, that was a very impressive win for Drexel. So, congratulations
for
on starting
sure.
the season off like that, right?
For sure. And the last one, Howard over Providence. I mean, you got the Big East school and Howard, the HBCU. I mean, whenever those kind of schools get those kind of wins, and then the publicity that they got from that win, I mean, you could tell that this is definitely going to be pivotal in their season.
No, I love it. I think it's fun. And they didn't like that wasn't even like a last second comeback. Like they
Mhm.
were able to pull out the win. They were up by double digits most of that game. They
Yeah.
controlled that game. And Providence, very new team. Uh,
Hmm.
a big year for them as well. So gonna be tough to come back from that one in non-conference play. We'll see if they can get there by Big East play. But yeah, I mean Howard, very impressive performance. Like the rest of these were close. Like they were, it could have been anyone's game, I'd say. Uh,
Hmm.
this one was not. It was Howard's game to give away, and they did not. They held on to it. So those are our mid-major spotlights of the week. There's plenty of others. I mean, we'll talk
Hmm.
about Richmond a little bit, obviously, which I don't know. I don't even consider them a mid-major anymore with what they've been able to do. They're a power
Right.
five in my eyes.
They've definitely shown they can compete with the best of them.
Yeah, absolutely. But those are the mid majors. Now let's move on to some of the marquee matchups, right, that we've
Hmm.
seen in these last 2 days. And the first two that we're going to go through did not happen on U.S. soil. They happened near the Eiffel Tower in Paris,
Hmm.
France. I wish I was there for them. I tweeted out, I think I got to be there next year. I think I got to make the trip. But they were two fun games, don't you think?
Oh, definitely. I mean, high level, high competition. I would argue some WNBA talent, future talent on both sides, and it showed. It showed through that game.
Yeah, what stood out to you about Baylor Duke?
I think defense. I feel like these were a game of defensive teams. That's why the score was so low. Baylor 58, Duke 52. I mean,
Yeah.
the way they both get after you, they press you, they put that pressure on you, they deny passes. I mean, I think what really helped is the battle of the star power.
Yeah.
Talia Scott had 24 points. She was unstoppable. She would go on runs by herself where she would impact the entire team. I think that's what helped them get that edge.
Yeah, absolutely. And I didn't say it, but Baylor, yeah, they came out with the 58 to
Mhm.
52 win. I will be the first to admit, and I will admit it right now, I underestimated Baylor. I truly did. I very
Yeah.
much so underestimated them and what Talia Scott can do. And it was impressive because Duke is really good, and I don't mean
Yeah.
this in like a backhanded way. They're really
Mhm.
good at making teams look bad. They're very,
Mhm.
very good at that. With the
Mhm.
way they play, their style of play, what Carol Lawson does over there. It's ugly games usually. It's not high
Yeah.
scoring. Like you said,
Mhm.
it's a lot of defensive pressure. And this one wasn't so different, except for you have the outlier in Talia Scott, who could not be stopped. She was unstoppable. And I loved watching her when she was a freshman at Arkansas. Then, she transfers to Auburn, gets hurt like
Mhm.
5 games into the year. It's a real blow to their season, of course. Now she's here. She's in the Big 12. She's at Baylor, and she's,
Mhm.
I think, the missing piece that this team needed.
Oh, for sure. I think they needed that star power to kind of help them get over that hump. I mean, this was Baylor's first top 10 win since December of 2023. You would think a program like that would have more wins, but that shows that they just need that one player to kind of fill in that missing piece.
Yeah, Nikki Collin did a great job in the portal this
Hmm.
offseason. I was really impressed with the pieces she got. And I think they'll become more impactful. Ella Brow didn't play. She was in a boot. Don't know what's up with her, but I think she'll
Hmm.
help them a lot too if slash when she returns. And yeah, I like how they look. Like I was impressed. It felt like um, not the prettiest game you've ever seen,
Hmm.
but a competitive game, right? And I think
Right.
big piece we do have to mention Emily Skinner did not play for Duke. Their freshman, their star freshman, and Ariana Roberson did not play. Uh, no updates on that, weirdly. So I'm
Mhm.
not sure what their, return will look like. I think Emily
Yeah.
Skinner, I put this in my kind of preview. I think she's the X factor for this Duke team offensively. I think what she'll
Yeah.
be able to add will be key.
Hmm.
So that's why I don't want to, I'm still going to penalize Duke for this because they lost, but
Hmm.
I don't want to put too much weight on this depending on when she comes back.
For sure. I definitely agree.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that was the first one, which is, I think, the best game of day one, in my opinion.
Hmm.
Oh, Now we'll get to another one, but this next one isn't it either. This is probably the third best game of the day that we're going to talk about next, which is the other game in Paris. Vandy Cal. Vandy comes through with the 9-point win over Cal.
Hmm.
Michaela Blakes goes crazy. Who's surprised? It was
Nobody.
fun. It wasn't necessarily the most competitive game I've ever watched in my life,
Hmm.
but there were some bright sides for Cal. Their freshmen look really good.
Yeah, and Cal had a previously struggling for the past couple of years, so to see them kind of coming on, they was ranked last year, kind of breaking through those walls again. I mean, that's a great spot to be in, especially for head coach Sharman. And I just think, like you said, Michaela Blake's, she was unstoppable. I mean, she was 9 for 27, so not a great field
She
goal
can get to
percentage,
the free throw line. That's her.
but exactly. She shot 10 free throws, made seven, shot 10. When you can manufacture points like that, it's very hard to stop a person like that.
She's one of the best at it too. I was talking to
Hmm.
someone the other day about it. Like that is not that it skews her stats, but you look at how many points she scores and then you look at how many she scored from the line. You're like, "Oh my God, like she was there the whole game." But it's impressive when you're able to draw fouls like that, you're able to get to the line. She's a
Hmm.
really special player and will certainly be the centerpiece of their team this year. But I thought they looked good overall. I don't know that they're
Yeah.
the deepest team. I liked their freshman point guard, Aubrey Galvin, though. I think she has the
Hmm.
potential to, well, she has to get ready early, right? Because
Right.
she's starting, there's no other choice, really. It's
Hmm.
her or nothing. So you have her in there,
Yeah.
and she has to grow up. And I think we saw that she's already grown up.
Oh, for sure. And one thing Michaela said in the press conference is that she loves playing with her. She
Yeah.
said she makes things easier and she does everything. Even her and her coaches going back and forth saying, I don't even want to play point guard no more. Like, give it all to Aubrey. So, and then she played 39 minutes. So that's a really good, plus in addition to that team. And if Michaela can do more off the ball, not really have to handle those on the ball presence, that can be deadly because that means she kind of saving her legs as well. And she could be even more deadly on the offensive end.
Absolutely. Well, before we move on from this one, I want to give, one more second to shout out those Cal freshmen because they were really impressive. Puff Morris is someone I watched a lot of when she was a recruit.
Mm-hmm.
And because of her size, I wasn't sure if she would transition to the college game as quickly. And she did. Like she came out with a bang and she's going to be really good for them. I really like it. They also have Sakima Walker, South Carolina
Hmm.
transfer, who's going to have
Yep.
a very much expanded role there.
Hmm.
And she had a good performance for her first game.
Yeah.
Obviously, weren't able to pull through with the win, but they weren't expected to. They really weren't.
Right. Exactly.
I think that was the result we expected from that
Hmm.
game, for the most part. This next game, I think it takes the cake as my
Hmm.
favorite game I watched of the day. I don't
For
know.
sure.
Best we can argue, but it was my favorite that I watched. And that's because it was Belmont, Oklahoma, which is Belmont's one of my favorite mid-majors to keep an eye on
Hmm.
because they can really give some Power Five some trouble. Like
Yeah.
you don't want to schedule them as your first game of the year. I don't know what Oklahoma was thinking. I mean, it's a good win for their resume, but you don't
Right.
do that, right?
Man, I mean, they shot 10 threes. And that's what they do. They spread you out. They kick out to open shooters and they knock them down. I mean, they shot 10 threes compared to Oklahoma's three.
Right.
So I would question if that can kind of hurt Oklahoma down, especially in the SEC, because if teams start really packing it in, they have to rely on shooters. I would like to see how they adjust to that.
And we'll talk about this now, actually. Aaliyah Chavez's debut. She's
Hmm.
someone who took a lot of threes, didn't make a lot of
Yeah.
threes, but I think she had a really good debut. I was
Hmm.
impressed with her first game as a freshman, but one thing you got to work on for Aaliyah Chavez is shot selection. Please. Like
For
she was
sure.
tasked with doing everything in the past. She was the best player on the
Hmm.
court at any given time. Um, Most of the time may be the case now, but not always. And you have players that can make shots. It doesn't just have to be you. I was really impressed with her passing. I was impressed with
Hmm.
her intensity defensively. Her shot selection was the one thing that did not impress me about her game.
Yeah, and that's a hard adjustment, especially as freshmen and when you're the star on your team, you're used to taking volume shots. But when you come to a college system, it's different. Everyone's a star. So it's like that adjustment, I would like to see how she adjusts to that as the year goes on.
Yeah, Reagan Beers too. Love her. Just need to mention her. What a game. One of the best post players in the country. Phenomenal performance. I think she's what won this game for Oklahoma because Belmont, the score is so deceiving. And I don't mean that
Hmm.
like oh, Belmont shouldn't have won way. They should have. But this thing
Right.
was like tied with like 5 or 7 minutes left. Like it
For sure.
game, which is exactly what you want to see on day one. Maybe not if you're Oklahoma, but But it was
For sure. I mean, Oklahoma, they dominated in the paint as well, 54-18. I mean, their size was a lot.
yes.
But I would just worry about that three-point shooting. Can they guard the three-point line? Because there are some deadly shooters in the SEC and the rest of their schedule. So I like to see how they adjust to playing high-level shooters.
No, I completely agree. I think it'll be interesting. The other thing that, and I think they'll be fine, but the other thing that worries me a little bit is their depth. Their starting
Hmm
five so incredibly strong. They're going to have to rely on not just Ilya Chavez, but their other two freshmen to make big steps forward. And they maybe don't have to do that quite yet, although their next game is against someone named UCLA. So maybe they do. Maybe they got to step into that quick because I'm really intrigued to see that matchup. And we don't need to go crazy into that, but that's one that I'm really looking forward because I think those two teams are two that people have really high expectations for this year.
Battle of the bigs. We'll see who comes out on top.
Who's your give me your pick now? Who's coming out on top, Reagan Beers or Lauren Betts?
I have to say Lauren Best.
Yeah, I gotta agree with you there. I
I
gotta
might be a little biased. I didn't play it. I played her, so I know what she could do. But Lauren Best, I think she comes out on top.
Yeah, nah, I agree with you on that one. And if that doesn't end up happening, we can, clip this and say we were wrong.
We
We'll
get it wrong sometimes.
sometimes. The last game I want to go through from day one before a very special guest on, and we'll introduce her in a second here. The last one I want to go through is Auburn Charlotte, which is a game that went to overtime. We needed
Mhm,
extra basketball to get through this one. Auburn has a new head coach at the helm. Charlotte's trying to rebuild this team up. It was
mhm.
a fun game, closer than I expected, but nonetheless very fun to get extra basketball.
Man, I mean, this is Coach Baker's first game. He came from Norfolk State, where he had three straight NCAA appearances. So he knows how to win. He knows how to get to the tournament. And I would think that that is his next goal for Auburn is to get back into the NCAA tournament.
Absolutely. We'll see how this year turns out. I think it might take a couple,
Hmm
but I like the group he has. They were fun and they were able to dominate that overtime period. Regulation was a little bit of a different story, but once they got to
hmm
overtime, they felt that pressure and they handled it. So that was impressive on their part, and he notches his first win there at Auburn. Next up. We're going to bring in a very, very special guest that I'm very excited to talk to because she was one of the stars of the last few days of women's college basketball. She had a great, great performance yesterday in the best game of the day, of the week, of whatever we want to call it. And that is Zoe Brooks from NC State. We're going to bring her in now to talk to us. All right. And now we are going to bring in one of the big stars of the first week of women's college basketball. We got Zoe Brooks here from NC State. You were part of the best game I have watched so far this season. It was a very high level competition. You guys came out on top in the one possession win. How are you feeling after that, Zoe?
Very excited. I feel like this year is going to be a very special year for us. We're a young team. We're very fast, athletic. We all want it, and I really think we can get after it this year.
That sounds so great. Okay, Zoe, before we get into the game, let's lighten up a little bit.
Okay.
Give me a story or something about Coach Moore that most people wouldn't know.
Okay. I've told a couple people this. But on my official visit, we were in a golf cart. It was me, my mom, and my dad, and obviously Coach Moore. And he
Hmm
was driving the golf cart, just showing us around campus. And my dad had to get to a meeting. So Coach Moore was driving, rushing through campus, trying to get into like a safe, stable spot.
hmm
And he crashed the golf cart. True story. He crashed the golf cart, and me and my parents were like, yeah, we definitely have to come here.
Yeah, that's when you knew, right? That's the
Yeah.
moment you know you got to go to
That's the
NC.
moment I knew, yeah.
I love
So
it.
not many people know that, but a couple do.
Okay,
Did
love it,
he,
love it.
was he like lighthearted about it or was he all, nervous that he crashed the golf?
No, he was just being crazy. He wasn't nervous. He just kept going.
I
Like
love
nothing even happened.
That's funny. Well, I don't know if he's like that, after games too. If you guys are, I don't know if he's that lighthearted. We'll see. I was there last
No.
year and he was a little more serious, a little more
He
buttoned up.
hates losing. He hates losing. So
Yeah,
do we.
absolutely. Well, yeah, you haven't lost yet. You're one game in.
Yeah.
You start off the season 1-0. This group obviously looks a little bit different than it did last year, right? You graduate some key players, you add a few new ones into the mix. Tell me what makes this group so special in your opinion.
I feel like we're all young and hungry. I feel like we are a very complete team. We can shoot outside. We have great people who can drive in and make good plays, either score or, get into our big. Our inside post is crazy. So I just feel like this is probably one of the most complete teams that we've had.
Wow, that's a very good compliment. Last year you had Sanaya Rivers and Isaiah
Mhm.
James. What did those seniors kind of do for you personally and on the court?
They showed me how to be a leader pretty much. They were great leaders themselves. Obviously, I got to play with them for 2 years and they just took it very seriously. They always went hard. They always corrected the young ones when they messed up. And even the older ones they corrected. They were just great leaders all around.
All right, so what's your leadership style this year? What does that look like for you? I know you got a couple young ones on the team. What does that look like?
Yeah. I'm practicing on being more vocal. I feel like I'm getting more comfortable as the years going on, just talking to the young ones, trying to help them and direct them, just like, my seniors in the past helped me when I was younger.
Okay, so no, this is a nail biter game. So going to that fourth quarter, what was the conversation like in the huddle?
We had to obviously take care of the ball and get defensive stops. We were all really tired. Obviously, first game of the season, and they were pressing for 40 minutes, so we just had to push through. And I don't wanna get the wording wrong, but I'm pretty sure it's don't let your mind control your body. Let
Okay.
your body control your mind, something like that. But that's what we had to go through. Just like even though we were tired, we had to push through, and we really wanted to win, so we just pushed through it all.
Yeah, what was your mindset through that game? Because obviously, not a lot of teams are starting their season off with a bang like you guys did, right? There's not a lot
Yeah.
of those high level games you're seeing even in the first week of college basketball. What was your mindset heading into this one? Like, how do you prepare for a game like that when you guys haven't even played a real game together before?
Well, we knew that they were going to throw the press at us, and it's a pretty good press, very intense. And the goal of their press is to speed the other team up. So I feel like going into that game, I had to just make sure I kept my composure, didn't let them us up, and just try and get the ball down the court and have everybody score easy layups.
So talking about your composure, you're a pretty chill, laid back player on the court. I
Yeah,
also know that you were raised in New Jersey. How
yeah.
has that kind of helped you with your game?
I feel like New Jersey / New York, we're very shifty, calm, but we know how to get the job done. So I feel like that helped me a lot yesterday, just being calm under pressure and not letting them speed me up and just playing my game.
Everyone knows your game by now, right? We've watched you play
Yeah,
for a couple of years. We know your game. Someone who I want to ask you about and really, really impressed me yesterday. I saw her play a little bit last year, but I feel like there was a really big jump. Is Tilda Trieger.
yeah,
She's someone who I feel like is going to really surprise some teams this year.
for
What have
sure.
you seen from her growth this offseason? What do you like about her? And just tell me a little bit about her.
She's definitely a lot more mature this year. She's a great rebounder. I feel like you don't see many 6'6" posts out there shooting threes better than some shooting guards. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like that's what really makes her special. You can't just worry about her in the paint, but you also have to get out to her on a 3-point line as well.
So I know you have Kayla Jones, who was a former player, then she was a grad assistant, now she's on staff. How has she kind of helped you with your process?
KJ, I love KJ. She helps me a lot. Sometimes if she sees me being too hard on myself, she'll tell me like, chill, like you good. Don't be overworking yourself. And she always gasses me up if I do something flashy. She's always there for me. I love KJ.
Is there something maybe we wouldn't expect that we're going to see from you this year? Is there something flashy you got in your bag now that we can look forward to seeing?
I do, but y'all gonna have to just wait and see. I can't throw the tricks out there. Y'all just gonna have to wait and see.
Are we going to see it soon? I know you got a big one
Soon,
coming
yeah, it's
up.
definitely gonna be in a big game.
Okay. Well, you got a big
Yeah,
one, right? You got a big one coming up soon against USC. That'll be another.
yeah,
You guys, you start the season off crazy. Like I can't get past
yeah.
that. I don't know what it's like scheduling in that room. I don't want to be in that room for
No,
it.
yeah.
That's
Our
tough.
schedule this year is crazy.
How does that help you moving forward? Like having this tough of a non-conference schedule early in the season, how does that prepare you for conference play?
I love it. I feel like it's very challenging, and I feel like it's a great way to prepare us going to the ACC season. That's obviously ACC is a great, just place to be, the place to play. Every team is great, and on any given night, any team can win. So I feel like this is preparing us for that.
And one more question I want to ask you. Zamaria Jones. She had the
Hmm.
7-0 run, the fourth quarter, really kind of
Hmm.
pulled y'all together in that last quarter. How much she means to this team, and how have you seen her develop and grow?
Her development is crazy too, just like Tilda's. You know, they're very mature for their age. I feel like some people might forget that they're only sophomores and still have pretty much 3 years to go. I mean, we just started this season. Same thing with her. She could shoot it, she could drive it. She's a great passer, and I think she's gonna be very special.
What's the ceiling of this team? Because obviously we saw what you could do yesterday against Tennessee, right? Which is a really good team in my mind. You're both top 10. I don't know if it was an upset you guys win, and I think you guys are pretty
Yeah,
evenly matched from what we saw, right?
Mhm.
Uh,
yeah.
what's the ceiling of this group based on what you know so far?
There is no ceiling. I feel like we have the opportunity to be in the Final Four again, just like freshman year. You know, this is a great team. Like I said, we're very complete, and I feel like we're very unselfish. We want to all win, and we'll do whatever it takes to win.
I called you guys the party crashers 2 years ago. I think your coach did too, when you guys made it to the Final Four. I don't think you're crashing any parties now. I think,
Nah.
people know what you can do. Tell me what you love so much about being at NC State.
Just the environment, like everybody's so nice around here and so supportive, and our fans is a really big reason why we're so successful to this day. They're so loyal and loving and always look out for us and make sure that we feel great going into big games and even small games. They're still there to support. No matter where we are, who we're playing, we know that they're gonna show out.
Someone you guys added who you can tell loves NC State already is Camille Pierre. Obviously a
Yeah.
late addition and a big addition for you guys, right? And she
Yeah.
her impact yesterday on the court. What's it been like playing with her, and like what does she add to this group?
I feel like she's a player that I don't think I've ever played with before. She's a four that has great size, can run the floor. Her turnaround is something that's crazy. I've never seen, and she just scores so effortlessly.
Anything else for you, Genesis?
No, I would say good luck the rest of this season. Y'all on a good start and excited to see what y'all do.
I'm
Thank
gonna
you, thank you.
before you go, I'm gonna hit you with some quick hitters for people who might not know you as a person. They just know
Okay,
you on the court. I'm gonna give you like 5 or 6 quick questions for you, and
okay.
answer. We're gonna go like this. What's your favorite song to listen to pregame?
I don't listen to music pregame. I listen to church. Fun
Okay, I
fact.
love it.
Okay.
Yeah,
Is
I
that
watch
your
church.
that's your pregame ritual?
Yep.
I love it. What's your favorite TV show right now, or not right now, before the season that you were binging?
It's old, but everybody hates Chris. I watch old episodes all the time.
I love it. Go to movie.
It's called Ma. It's like a scary movie. I don't know if y'all have heard of it, but it's Ma. I love me and my mom used to watch that movie all the time. We watched it like 4 times.
Game you're looking forward to playing most this year on the schedule.
Versus TCU. I feel like that would be a really fun game. They're coming down here to Raleigh and they have a pretty stacked roster, so I'm excited for that. And we have to get our get back because we lost last year by like 3 points at their place or something like that.
And then last one I'll hit you with, and this is because I'm coming to Raleigh. I've been there before. I'm a big Carolina Hurricanes fan actually, so I'm there a whole bunch. But I need your best restaurant recommendation for when I come visit. Where are you going to eat?
Raleigh Times. That's the
Okay.
best restaurant around here. Go stop by there. Pretty good place.
I'm putting it on the list. I'm excited to get down there soon and watch you guys play in person. But heck of a first win for you guys, and looking forward to see what you do.
Thank y'all so much.
Thank you.
All right, what a pleasure it was getting to talk to Zoe. Loved hearing about her and how she's doing this year and all the pieces that she's got surrounding her because NC State, they are to be taken seriously this year.
Oh, they are not sneaking on anybody. I know you call them the party crashers, but this year they are the ones to be watched out for. I mean, they have so much balance, so much depth. I mean, on both sides, backcourt and the front court. So I'm excited to see what they do this year.
They are the party now. They're not the party crashers. They are the party. They're hosting the party. Uh, let's
Right.
let's talk about that game really quick because we talked about it with her, but I want to talk about it with you and hear what you have to think. I think it felt like March Madness in November to me.
Yeah.
That's what it felt like.
Man, I mean, the composure. We know how Tennessee plays. They sub every 2 minutes. They have the hockey subs. All five come out. They press you. They get in you. They're gritty. But NC State held their composure. They did have some questionable turnovers here and there. Some missed shots, was I kind of credit to probably fatigue. But other than that, they showed great composure, especially as a younger group. I mean, the freshmen that came in and just everybody has a group. I mean, Zoe Brooks,
Yeah.
Zamaria. I mean, how much
Damn.
can we talk about her? Went
Yeah.
on a 7-0 run by herself in the fourth quarter, really pull that game away. And then the big time rebound by the big girl down low, Tilda.
Oh,
She sealed the game with that rebound. So I'm really excited about NC State this year.
yeah, I loved how Zoe talked about Camille Pierre because she hasn't played with anyone like her. Like, not a lot of people have, and that was the
Mhm.
most interesting addition for any team because it came so late and no one knew if she was going to be eligible this year. And
Mhm.
so we find out she's eligible, and immediately for me, NC State ceiling goes, from here to you can't even see it. So we said, right? Like it's off the chart. So I'm excited to see what she adds. I'm excited to see, Zoe's jump and what she's got in her bag this year that she mentioned that we're gonna find out soon, hopefully. But yeah, that was a heck of a game, and I think both of these teams are going to be incredibly competitive in their
Yep,
respective leagues. And when it comes to March, I think they could both make it very far.
for sure.
Yeah, well, that was game one of the big doubleheader yesterday. The last game I want to talk about more in depth from yesterday, we may not need to spend a lot of time on because it was pretty one-sided. Uh,
Yeah.
and that's because I think UConn is better than everyone else in the country. I don't know if anyone can compete with them right now. It was UConn, Louisville, and I do think Louisville is a very good team, and I love Laura Ziegler and what she brings to this group.
Hmm.
But they were no match for UConn. Like with what UConn brings back with what they return from injury, with the two transfers they add. They just look unstoppable to me. And I know they slowed down a little bit at the end, but like
Hmm.
pay attention to that first half. Like no one's
Yeah.
beating them.
Yeah, like I said, the score does kind of it's a little bit, because they did have real big control throughout the first 3 quarters, of course, but UConn dominated like that while only making four threes because
Right.
they had 50 points in the paint. So it's like when they can score at will in the paint like that, it causes havoc for their opponents. I mean, UConn was just too much. And maybe they had a little extra boost because Paige was in attendance. She was at the game. So maybe they had an extra boost, but UConn is definitely a force to be reckoned with.
Yeah, and honestly, AZ was really good and Sarah was really good, but that kind of even felt like off nights for them, which is a crazy thing to say. Like I just feel like their ceiling is higher than how they performed yesterday, and so we have not seen the best of UConn. And they have plenty more opportunities to show what they can do. They have a really tough schedule in non-conference play. They play those kind of February non-conference games too, which I
Hmm.
love. A little reprieve from the conference games. So we'll
Hmm.
see where they end up, but right now they look better than any team I've watched so far.
Yeah, I might have to agree with you. I'm looking forward to see South Carolina though. See
Yeah.
them play some higher competition. But as far as right now, they look like they are the front runners for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, South Carolina played Grand Canyon first day.
Hmm.
Not, the toughest competition, but a really fun
Hmm.
story with Winston Gandy over there, who used to coach with her, now coaching against her.
Hmm.
Tonight Latson had a pretty big debut over there. So we'll see. Yeah, I think I need to see them play
Right.
at least a fringe top 25 team to kind of
Hmm.
get a good feel of it.
Yeah.
But, they're not afraid to schedule hard. So we got some good games coming up for them
Hmm.
as well. Before we finish up, there's some other things I want to kind of mention. We can't go through everything that's happened in the last 2 days, although I feel like I've watched it all. I feel like I've
Yeah.
taken in everything that's happened, but some things I really don't want to leave out here. Brooklyn Meyer from South Dakota State led
Hmm.
them to the win over Creighton in that's like my favorite recurring matchup that happens every year. I love it.
Hmm.
It's so fun. South Dakota State comes out with the win this year, and she is why.
Man, Creighton, I mean, they lost a lot last year. They lost a lot of seniors that really had the more of a bigger role. So I would like to see how their new identity and just those new players kind of really find their groove within the season.
They got a lot of freshmen, so we'll see.
Hmm.
We'll see how they improve as we go through. But that was a fun game. Then you mentioned this team last time in our mid-major spotlight, Richmond. I want to shout out Maggie Dugan because oh my goodness, is she good? Can she take over a game? I know they didn't play the toughest opponent yet, but she can do that against high-level talent too.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, no matter who you're playing, when you score games like that, I mean, you have to give credit where it's due. I would like to really see them when they do play some high level competition, how that would translate to kind of better defenders and better teams.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And then a couple high majors that scared me a little bit for a minute. They gave me a little bit of a heart attack or whatever. Are we going to get an upset? I don't know what's going to happen. Some
Hmm.
close calls. Arkansas, they ended up winning. Like in the last few minutes, they pulled away, but it was
Hmm.
close. Kelsey Music's first year and put a good roster together. there. It's just about how they move forward through the year. Arizona State pulled through in the fourth quarter, but up through that third, man, it was close with Coppin State. Whew. It was fun. I mean, Molly Miller, again, her first year at the helm there, and I am
Mhm.
excited about her group. I actually think they got a ton of potential, but that was a little bit scary for 3 quarters. And Coppin State's good. Also got a new head coach over there, so two of them battling. Arizona State comes out with the win. Finish
Mhm.
off with Wake Forest, who nearly lost to Radford. It was close. That score doesn't. It was this close. They got some work to do, obviously. And then Alabama was the one that surprised me the most. I did not think
Yeah.
it would be that close with Stetson. They got some injuries, they got some kids out,
Mhm.
so surely that's a big part of it. But they had a lot of their core there and still maybe a little bit of a letdown in your first game.
Yeah, you wonder if the loss of Sarah really kind of helped, I mean, hindered them because she did a lot for that team. And when she went off to the pros and she made a team and she's on a pro team, so that lets you know how valuable she is as a player. So I'll look to see how they kind of bounce back from them. Look for Jessica Timmons to
Yeah.
kind of insert herself more. I know she's coming off of injury, so kind of getting that groove back. But I think Alabama will definitely learn from this scare and kind of soar from here.
Yeah, Carly Weathers is my player I'm really keeping
Mm-hmm.
an eye on. She came through huge in that fourth quarter for him in those
Mm-hmm.
final minutes. She led them to that win. She was really good in their exhibition also
Yeah.
against the state that they had.
Yeah.
So she's someone I'll look to as well as Simmons to kind of take
Okay.
over here. Those were kind of the big close calls. There were a few others. We don't have time to go through them all, unfortunately. What else? Oh, the transfers. The transfers had good showings to start off, right? Who
Hmm.
stood out to you of transfers starting at new schools?
I mean, Malaysia for Wally. I mean, what bigger transfer is that? I mean, from South Carolina to LSU, all eyes on her to see how she adjusted, and she showed that she can adjust. I mean, now I would like to see how when they play some higher competition, how that still will adjust and just with
It'll
the
be a
game
while.
flow. It
Genesis, it'll
will.
be a while until they play some higher competition.
Yeah, we know how, LSU schedules have been prone to be, so we'll see when they do get into
Yeah.
the SEC for sure. But she had a great game. And also Keomi McMiller. I mean, the Rutgers transfer went to Penn State, wondering how her game would transfer, and she's hasn't missed a beat. She's doing what she was doing at Rutgers at Penn State. And so to see how she kind of grows as an overall player would be kind of my thoughts on her. Like, how can she grow as more of a passer, more of a
Yeah.
facilitator as well?
And I think she did that. I think that
Hmm.
was my concern is that not that she was like a ball hog by any means, but
Hmm.
she loved to she
Yeah.
I don't I'm trying to phrase this in the right way. At Rutgers, there weren't as many options, I feel like.
Hmm.
So she was like, I can trust myself. I'm gonna take this shot, right?
Yeah.
Like I haven't talked to her about it, but that's kind of the mindset that I took
Hmm.
from the way she played this year. She
Yeah.
has options, and they're
Hmm.
not maybe the strongest in the country, but she has people that I feel like you can trust to hand the ball to. You have Gracie Merkel, who had a great performance. You have
Hmm.
Mariah Murray, who can also shoot the ball. Like you have people, and that was, I think, the big mindset shift that she needed to take
Hmm.
in was I can trust my teammates. Let me give this to them. Let them take care of it. I'm gonna shoot when I got a good look, but I'm not gonna force anything.
Right. And I think that's going to definitely help her as she continues to grow. But also, if she wants to be in WNBA, that's kind of the game that she needs to have make to the next level.
Exactly. I think this year is going to be a really pivotal one for her, and it'll be
Hmm.
fun. One more game I want to talk about so quickly because I was watching it while like the marquee matchup was on. I actually had this game on my big TV at first because I was so intrigued to
Hmm.
see the new look Ole Miss team. They went up against Norfolk State and they dominated. In that first half, it was close, it was fun, and then they pulled the heck away. Cody McMahon looked good. Caitlin Peterson, Latasha Lattimore, like they got weapons after weapons after weapons.
Man, I mean, Norfolk State, I mean, we know they new coach, so they built a new system, but I think they will be begin to be competitive as well.
Yeah.
But Ole Miss, I mean, like I said, Coach Joe was the transfer portal queen. She's known for her transfers, and it looks good right now. I mean, they're gelling really well. I mean, I know it's early in the season, but they're looking like this now. I can only imagine come SEC play what they'll be looking like.
And shout out to her for what she's done at Ole Miss because it's not easy to rebuild a team in the SEC as we're seeing kind of now with some of these new coaches coming in. And she did it.
Hmm.
And they've gone far and they have a chance to go even further. So really, really impressive job that she has done over there. We've only had 2 days of basketball, so those are the big ones. But we
Hmm.
got a lot more coming up, right? Like there's a lot to be excited about. A few games this weekend that I will certainly be tuned into alongside the game that I'll be going to, which is Columbia Butler. Uh,
Okay.
a fun one. I'm excited about it actually. But other than that, give me one game that you are looking forward to watching the most this weekend?
The most, I would have to say USC and NC State.
Yep.
I think USC with no juju, I would like to see how they play a high competition team like NC State. And also, NC State come off that big win. Will they kind of soar from it? Will they get a little complacent and not? We'll kind of, I mean, Fargo has always said they're ready. So we'll see. But I think that's definitely the game I'm checking off on my list this weekend.
Yeah, I watched USC last night, New Mexico State. Rough start, strong finish.
Hmm.
Jazzy Davidson, shots weren't falling, but she can do so much other than that.
Hmm.
So I think that's what makes her such an impactful player. London Jones coming off the bench, which surprised me a little bit.
Me
We'll
too.
see if they continue that. She had a really strong showing as well.
Hmm.
They have some good talent, not a ton of depth. We'll see how they fare against an NC State team that I feel like has a decent amount of depth and a lot of talent. So
Yeah,
we'll see how that one goes. That's probably my top one too. But if I have to counter you with a different game that I'm excited about, I'm gonna give you Richmond, Texas. I don't know if Richmond is capable of pulling out the win or necessarily keeping it close. I think Texas
hmm,
is one of the best teams in the country,
for
but
sure.
this is a really good litmus test for both of them
Hmm.
to see how they both fare. Like I don't know. Texas, obviously, in their first game, played someone that it wasn't going to be competitive. This is
Hmm.
a game that I think at least has a chance of being competitive. I don't know. I think the gap between, 2 and 25 is pretty big this year.
Yeah.
But on the other end of it, like Richmond, like what, and I mean this in the best way, like what do they have to lose? You go in there like you're gonna
Hmm.
play your heart out, you're gonna play your butt off to win that game. And
Hmm.
so I'm excited to see what Aaron Russell's team does, always very well coached. They got some new kids on there that people not don't necessarily know about yet, too.
And it's all about net. Like those kind of games, those are what kind of get you in the tournament too. If they could just have a good showing, a good outing, the committee are going to look at that early in the season. That's going to play a role when it comes to seeding. So, like you said, they have nothing to lose. Like if they lose, okay, pretty much everyone expected it. But if they win or if they at least keep it close,
Right.
that puts them at a different tier. So, like you said, they should just be playing this
Yeah.
weekend.
We'll see what Maggie Dugan can do and Rachel Olson. We'll
Hmm.
see what they can do over there. Well, I'll go a few more, but this will be the last one I want to talk about for a minute. Florida State UConn. Again, don't know how competitive it'll be, but it's gonna be fun. I think it's gonna be a fun game.
Yeah, I think when they, scheduled this, that's when Tanaya Watson was on the team. But so now with no Tanaya on Florida State, I would be interested to see who kind of shows up, who brings like that. I know no one can really like try to replace what she brought, but if they can come as a team, as a collective, I mean, you saw what you kind of did to Louisville, though. Like they are a force. So I would like to see how they watch that film from a very high level game and kind of translate and kind of find some defensive schemes to stop them.
Florida State's got someone that I think you must have played against at some point, right? Ali Quebec.
Mm-hmm.
Have you played against her? What do you think of her game?
Really. I mean, she's undersized. She's an undersized post, but her footwork is like one of the best I've ever seen. Like the way that she maneuvers, and then she could stretch you out. She could shoot the three. Like she's just such a versatile. And then she's also can bring the ball up the court. Like what fours and fives is comfortable with the ball in their hands like that. So I think she's a sneaky one because although she really doesn't have the height advantage, she has a finesse, she has a skill, and she also has a high IQ, which I think will help them in this team.
Well, she was someone, and I'm forgetting right now. I know I was in Birmingham, Alabama, but I can't remember
Mhm.
if it was a Sweet 16 or Elite Eight. She went nuts, and I was like, "Oh my gosh!" Like she might be the best player on the floor right now. She was that good. So we'll see if that can transfer over
Mhm.
to her year at Florida State. Couple other quick hits. Looking forward to watching Kent State, West Virginia. That'll be fun. Don't know what to expect from West Virginia yet. Kent State favored to win their conference. That'll be
Oh.
a fun one. I don't know. Harvard, Michigan, which is actually one for a sec I'm going to talk about because I'm so pumped up about it. What
Mhm.
Carrie Moore has done at Harvard, such impressive stuff. They came right here to Bloomington last year, beat Indiana. Wasn't in
Mhm.
the building for it, and I'm still, kicking myself for it every day. I should have been here. But she goes back home. She's from Michigan. That's going to be a
Mhm.
really motivating game for her, right?
For
So
sure.
Oh,
And
no,
then, I mean, Michigan had a great year as freshmen, but they're still kind of young.
they
I would
are.
like to see how they can try to find their weaknesses and maybe even expose them. I mean, Harvard, that system that they play, I mean, it's a 5 out. They kind of just beat you off the dribble, shoot the three. So I would like to see how those different games kind of correlate.
They're so fun. And obviously they don't
Mhm.
have Harmony Turner anymore, but they still got
Mhm.
plenty of talent there. They're still going to be, among, I would say, those top three teams in the Ivy
Mhm.
who all have the potential to make the NCAA tournament. So that's a fun one. And then last one, which is such a wild card game for me, is Princeton, Georgia Tech. Oh my goodness, it's our first, chance getting to see a new head coach at Georgia Tech, and Karen Blair. So very excited about that against a Princeton team who is favored to win the league. They got Madison St. Rose back from injury. Oh, I'm excited.
Man, Georgia Tech, I mean, they lost Danny, which they lost Danny to Georgia.
Yeah.
So it is state rivalry. So I like to see how they kind of get back that momentum from what she brought off the bench. But also does Georgia Tech find a new identity? Like you said, new head coach. What would be their identity? What would they be known for? And I think it was showing this game.
Yeah, we got a lot to look forward to. I wish we could talk about every game every day, but we'll be back next week to recap all of these games that we just talked about that we're just so excited about. And I'm sure we'll have a phenomenal guest coming on to recap it with us. So, had a blast talking with you, Genesis, and talking with Zoe. So much fun as always, and I'm just so glad women's college basketball is back.
Man. Thank God it's women's basketball season. I'm so excited. I'm happy. Had fun with this conversation. And like we told y'all, it's going to be more guests coming in. So stay tuned.